As I sit down to read through this collection of real-life relationship tales from the internet, I'm reminded that we're all just trying to navigate love, heartache, and everything in between. Join me as we dive into the raw, relatable stories shared on Reddit's relationship advice community. BF34 male has changed ever since I 29 female got pregnant. My boyfriend 34 male and myself 29 female found out we are expecting in January. It's something we planned and both want. In December, he got let go from his job, so I know he's dealing with stress from that. However, he's been treating me horribly. 2 days ago, he told me, "I just don't think you're a good person. I'm a nurse and have cared for others for the past decade." He also said something along the lines of, "I know a lot of assholes. They're rich, meaning I'm successful, but an asshole, I guess." He said I wasn't allowed to text him anymore. I'm 3 months pregnant almost. That I can only call him because we're adults. He's been raising his voice, talking very condescending to me, to the point I haven't wanted to even speak to him now. I left his car the other day and couldn't even kiss him. He then texted me addressing it. I seriously feel I could go the next month and not speak to him. I've done nothing to him to hurt him. I've never said a mean word towards him. I just stay home and keep the peace to myself, because I know stress is bad for the baby, and his energy is very intense. Too long. Didn't read. I feel he has bad ADHD. If we drive somewheres, he's got music full blast, singing every word to every song. If I try to turn it down to speak, he swats my hand and turns it back on. I feel like I've made a huge mistake by being with him. We haven't had sex in over a month. I don't even want the baby to have his last name. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. Time to leave. You don't need to be dealing with new baby and this abuse. Please care more about your safety and baby's safety. Also, why would you give the child his last name? You're carrying the baby. You will give birth to the baby, and you will almost certainly, based on what you said, be caring for the baby most or all of the time. Literally, the only reason to give the baby his name is because he's a man. 100% agree. So glad I never even considered giving my child his father's last name. His father's child from another relationship, so my son's half-brother, had his father's last name, and had it changed to his mother's last name on his 18th birthday, and felt so strongly about it, that he had it tattooed on him. Lol. Also, separate point. Is it possible to be due in January even if OP got pregnant, like, right now? Maybe my math is wrong. IDK. But yes, OP, please leave this abusive asshole. And do it safely. I think she meant she found out in January rather than expecting to deliver in January. The phrasing confused me as well at first. If she can get one, an abortion would be a very good idea. Co-parenting with an abuser is hell on earth, for both the mom and the child. It won't get better and the clock is ticking. Co-parenting with an abusive, angry person is not fair to the child. Pregnancy makes it like 7 or 8 times more likely that you will be murdered by an intimate partner. Pregnancy is a dangerous time for women. It's one of the most dangerous times. Be careful. I'm glad someone pointed this out. This is a very dangerous time. This guy has dropped his mask, BC. He feels he has her on lock now. Time for a safety plan? Then go. And now for the next story. Girlfriend 25 female is annoyed that I gave my female friend a t-shirt to wear for the night, because she didn't have one 25M. A college female friend of mine, S, was staying at my place for a week because she wanted to explore my city and my state. I live at home with my mom, and S took the guest room. I had been dating my girlfriend for over a year at that point of time, and she knew about S from my stories about my college life. I spent the entire day with my girlfriend outside, while S was home, and then I hosted a small party with my girlfriend, S, and some other friends at my house. When I came back, S told me that her t-shirt had gotten wet or something, and she had run out of clothes that she had packed, so she needed a t-shirt for a day. So I gave her one. S wore that t-shirt at the gathering, and everybody had a good time. Later, my girlfriend told me that she was very annoyed that I had given S the t-shirt to wear, and that it crossed a boundary. I didn't agree with her because my friend needed a t-shirt, and it was a basic old house t-shirt. She raises this point many times, and I honestly don't know if I have crossed a boundary when I was simply helping a friend. My girlfriend did say that it was because S is a woman, but I consider S to be like a sister. I need opinions if this act is crossing a general boundary, or is it situational like in my case. Edit. My girlfriend knows that S is like a sister, and that I have nothing going on with her. It's just that she wouldn't like me giving my t-shirt to another girl. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. I mean, I don't think my girlfriend would have been happy to begin with if a girl was staying in my house for a week with me, so I think you were already pushing your luck. Why is no one else pointing this out? Lol. Because you get downvoted and called controlling if you point out the disrespect happening in relationships when friends are involved that are clearly pushing boundaries in relationship. I often mention that cool girl monologue as it clearly hit a nerve. You are right. You don't like your boyfriend going to a strip club? Watching porn daily? Having his female mate stay at his place for a week? You must be controlling, insecure, jealous. It's a you problem. You need therapy, etc. When in fact, we are all so different. There is a lid for every pot, and rather than trying to force someone to see our POV, we need to focus on finding someone who already feels the same way as we do. It's not always black and white. There is a lot of nuance, and some topics are polarizing precisely because the truth is in the middle. Rant over. You don't like your boyfriend going to a strip club? Watching porn daily? Having his female mate stay at his place for a week? That third example is so different from the first two. Strip clubs and porn are explicitly sexual. Having a friend stay at your house where you live with your mom is not. I think that, and you think that. I suspect the standard here is what the GF thinks. To the ranter's point, the standard's a situation and person specific. It may speak to bigger insecurities in the relationship. Doesn't matter what we think, it is your G who is unhappy, and whether we think it reasonable or not, her being bothered doesn't sound totally crazy. And if you wish to keep things moving happily along, I would apologize and say something like I certainly meant nothing by it and was simply trying to be a gracious host. I'm sorry, and if it ever comes up again, I will suggest she stay at a hotel, wear her own clothing, etc. Or whatever you think will best keep the peace. In the future, I would make an effort to check in with her on her feelings before the situation arises. Way easier to head off than patch up. Your friend staying over at your house is pushing the boundaries of your relationship? Damn, what a fragile relationship that is. This sub doesn't believe in platonic relationship. And this sub is super insecure. Lol, you are the perfect example of what this person was talking about. Why is it so difficult to grasp that people are different, see things differently, and that's perfectly okay? You find someone who thinks like you, and people who feel uncomfortable with whatever behavior will find each other. We really don't need to all think or feel the same. And now for the next story. My GF21 female asked me 22 male to live separately. I 22M and my GF21F have been living together for a couple of years now, when she asked me if we could live separately for like a year or so. For some context, she has never lived alone before, either always having roommates or living at home with her parents. She says she wants to experience that freedom and try decorating her own space. While I understand that, as I've lived alone before, I also have a really bad feeling about it. Like our relationship is dying. I've never heard of this situation before, and had always assumed if you loved each other you'd want to be together. I really don't know what to think or how to feel. I could use any advice to get through it or have some kind of resolve. I really don't want to separate from her after our years together, even though we'd still be together as a couple. Is that just a stepping stone for breaking up? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. How about you talk to her and tell her how you feel before spiraling? I know, not the normal advice you get on Reddit. Everyone just says run. This time talk. This is the way. In your context, I consider this a step forward. If you two were 30 years old, living together, now wanting to live apart, I would call a step backwards and not a good sign. But both of you are insanely young. Early 20s, and neither got experienced what it's like to live alone. A key piece. Backing up, if someone asked me, should we live together as a 21 and 22-year-old? I'd probably say it's healthier to live separately first, then move in together. Not something that was offered here. Up to you, man, but I consider this more of a healthy move than unhealthy. A young adult living alone for a bit, that is always going to be a healthy path, Imo. 100% agree. At 2122, this isn't sign of a breakup. She's communicating her need to live independently before committing life to a partnership. He had this experience. Doesn't seem right to deprive her of the same. OP, don't let insecurity deprive her of this experience. Loving someone means caring about her needs as much as own. She'll probably not do it if you say no, but that wonder will only grow stronger as she gets older. Honestly, I've spoken to my partner and I really want my kids to experience living, not with me. Also, having your own space and decorating it. I did that at girlfriend Aga. Went nuts with the fairy lights. Discovered pretty quickly how dusty they can get. Never decorated with them again, lol. It also puts chores in perspective. I don't know how to describe it. But like, dumping laundry on the floor. For some people, they really hate it. Left to my own devices, I found I don't care, but I really like coming out in the morning to a clean sink. So yeah, clean sink in morning is a hill I'll die on. Laundry on floor, not so much. It also means OP gets to do all the chores himself. Like learn, go do your own laundry, and ruin your own laundry. Learn to fold your own fitted sheets, etc. And now for the next story. When is it socially acceptable to end a relationship because you don't have the same relationship goal? Boyfriend is 30 male, and I'm 36 female. My BF, 30 male and I, 36 female, have been together over 1.5 years. He was very clear early on that he did not want to have a typical relationship, and I tried to change what I wanted, but I can't. We both have kids from previous relationship. He will be child-free in 6 years, but I still have at least 12 years. He doesn't want to live with me while we have kids and moving in together. After the kids move out is only a maybe situation for him. He doesn't want to get married at all. I understand that marriage is an oddly controversial thing, and it's not needed, and I'm not religious at all. It's just that I am stupidly romantic, and I think weddings are stupidly romantic, and I like that. I just want a stupidly romantic life with someone. I love him, but I can't change what I want. Is it dumb to end the relationship this early over our future goals not lining up? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. It's time to move on. You aren't on the same page at all. Y'all want different things. You are allowed to break up. Also, breakups don't have to be socially acceptable. It's your life. Date who you want. Don't date who you don't want. A partner that doesn't want you with your child doesn't want you at all. This person is not your partner. Like and subscribe for more awesome daily Reddit content. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos.